It is so hard to know how much money you're going to spend in each country you go to if you've never done individual travel before, which I hadn't before my voyage, and I didn't really know how much to budget for myself in each country. So it has come to my attention that some of you would be interested in hearing how much money I spent in specific countries, so you know how much money to plan for yourself to have in each country that you go to. So today I'm going to be starting with talking about Costa Rica, the last country that I went to on my voyage, and telling you exactly what I did there, what I did each day, where I went, and how much money I spent doing it. So if you'd like to hear more of these videos about other countries that I went to on my voyage, you can let me know in the comments below. I will put the countries I went to in the description box, a list of them, so you can tell me which country you would like to hear about next. So if you like this video, if you find it helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would be so happy if you subscribed. And let's get into everything that I spent in Costa Rica and everything that I did. Alright, so keep in mind that Costa Rica was the last country I went to, so I spent more in this country than I did in basically any of the other ones because I had some things in mind that I wanted to do that were pretty special, and I wanted to have lasting memories with my friends from my last country on my voyage. And we spent a total of 5 days in Costa Rica. So on our first day in Costa Rica, we docked in Puntarenas and ate breakfast on the ship and then got off to explore the area that we were in. While there isn't really anything to do in Puntarenas, which we sort of realized after getting off the ship, it's still good to go around the place that you are in on the first day to get a feeling for the country, to understand where you're docked, and just to see the local buildings and shops. So the first thing that we did when we got off the ship was that we walked across the street to where there was an ATM to get some local currency. And in Costa Rica, I think I only took out maybe $25 US in the Costa Rican currency, because a lot of places in Costa Rica also accept US dollars, so we really didn't need that much in cash in their currency. But it is always good to have some, and I got out way more in other countries. So then after that, we walked down the beach and looked at all of the restaurants and all of the little souvenir shops that were set up, sort of like a farmer's market, with homemade clothing and jewelry and coffee and instruments that were being made right in front of our eyes, and that was amazing to see. So we walked around, which was free, and then we got to the other side of the peninsula where we got lunch at some place called El Shrimp Shack, and I had a mojito and shrimp fried rice, and it was so good, and the total was probably $15. And then on the way back, we stopped and got ice cream at a place called Pop's Ice Cream for $1.50, and then we went back to the row of all the souvenir shops, and I got 2 bags of coffee for my dad, which were a total of $8 both together. And then I saw a shirt that I really wanted, and I hadn't gotten any souvenir shirts in literally anywhere else we went, but I really wanted this one because it was oversized and tie-dye teal, and it had a frog and a martini glass on the back. It's really funny, I really like that shirt. So that was $5, so I got that for myself as well. Also on this day, we walked to one of the local bus stations to see what time the buses were gonna leave the next day so we could make plans. And then we made our way back to the ship where we swam and showered and ate dinner on the ship. And it's a proven fact that the dinners on the ship are better when we're in port than when we're at sea. It is so much better, and they're free. So we never really felt bad about spending money or more money at lunch if we ate one of the other meals on the ship, like breakfast or dinner, and on this day we had both on the ship. So I did not feel bad about spending money at lunch. And we also slept on the ship this night to save money. So then the next day we woke up and we ate breakfast on the ship, and we walked to the bus station. There is one to the right, which goes to San Jose, and then there's a different bus station to the left, which will take you to Jaco or Jaco, which is where we wanted to go that day. So we walked over there and we struggled to talk to the person in Spanish. I was talking in Spanish to get our tickets, and each one cost about $2, and it was about an hour and a half to get to the different city, and we paid in Costa Rican currency, so you need to have at least some of the local currency with you at all times. And if you want more information on booking overland travel while you're in country, be sure to check out my other video on that. So then we were on the bus and we passed a lot of beautiful scenery like banana groves, and we saw some crocodiles in a river, and then we got to Jaco, which is such a cute little town, and it has so many good restaurants and shops, and the beaches are beautiful, which is why we went there. So we spent the day on the beach, which is free, and we watched people surfing and we swam in the water, and then we went back into the city and we found somewhere really good to eat, and we had wood-fired pizza and I had a blackberry mojito, and that was a total of $10. And then we went across the street and got rolled ice cream for $3. And then we spent some time shopping in the cute little shops, very trendy, very fun. And I got an art print and 2 bars of artisanal chocolate for my mom, which she loved. And I got a little dragonfly necklace for one of my friends on the ship, and the total of those purchases were $15. Then we took the bus back to Puntarenas by waiting at a bus stop and looking for a bus going by that said Puntarenas on it. And then we swam again, we ate dinner, and we packed and planned for the next day. And I think we watched a Christmas movie that night because it was in the middle of December when we were in Costa Rica. And a lot of people stayed in that city, Jaco, the whole time that we were in Costa Rica, because there are a lot of resorts and beautiful places to stay there, and it's a very fun town. But we had bigger things in mind and more adventurous things that we wanted to do later on. So the next day we got up really early, grabbed breakfast, and then we went to the other bus station to go to San Jose for the night, which is the capital of Costa Rica, because we wanted to see a bigger city and also celebrate my friend's 21st birthday. So the bus tickets were about $5 and it took about 2 hours to get there. And then we paid $12 to stay at Hostel Pangea, which we walked to from the bus station. Hostel Pangea had a rooftop bar and a pool, but both were closed because we were there during the off season and it was pretty chilly, so that wasn't that great. And then the showers and the Wi-Fi were really good, but our room was sort of like a prison, and it had like just sheets in the bed, no like fluffy blankets or anything, and no towels were provided. So we probably could have found somewhere better to stay for the same price, but this was totally fine also, and we still had a good time. But I stayed in way better hostels in other countries in my voyage. So if you'd like to see my tips on finding hostels, I recommend watching my in-country travel video. And also, if you want even more in-depth tips on finding hostels, let me know in the comments below and I can also make a video on that. Once we dropped our stuff off in our room, we went and explored the art district, which was nearby this hostel, and we got into a really weird museum for like $2, which wasn't worth our time. And then we ate lunch at Cafe Mundo, which was delicious and has amazing bread. Like, I dream about that bread. And that lunch cost about $12. And then we walked around to different shops and window shopped and went to 2 different cafes to get hot chocolate and cake, and those totals for those sweets were $5. If I could go back to this area, I would probably go to the popular Costa Rican cafe called Spoon because their desserts looked delicious. And I would also probably go to Cafe Rojo, which is right down the street from Hostel Pangea, and that is Vietnamese food and had a very cute atmosphere and very good reviews. Then we had dinner and drinks at a very cute restaurant called Alma de Amon, and that totaled $15. And then we walked to the bus station to get tickets for the next day to Monteverde, which were $6 each, and the bus left at 6:30 a.m. so we needed some sleep. So we went back to our hostel to go to sleep. So here's where things got a little dicey. So we got up really early to get to this bus, and then we got there with time to spare, and then one of my friends realized that she had left her phone in the hostel. That was like a 10-minute walk away, and we did not have 10 minutes before the bus left. So she took my phone to call an Uber and went back to get her phone, but she missed the bus and we could not make them wait for her, and that was so sad. So she had to figure out travel back to Puntarenas on her own and miss our next day of fun. But if you'd like to hear more stories like this one in more detail and all the things that went wrong during my travels alone in country, let me know in the comments below and I can probably make a video on that also. So the rest of us already on the bus continued on to Monteverde, and we paid like 50 cents for snacks along the way, and then we got to Hostel Coati Place, which was very nice and had fluffy blankets and was a bed and breakfast, and they gave us free cake, and that was super fun, and that was $10 per night. Monteverde is an adventurous little mountain town with tons of cute shops and restaurants, and it is also known for its high-intensity adventures. So we had lunch at the Treehouse Restaurante and Cafe, and this restaurant was literally built around a tree and was a treehouse, and we spent about $12 on that meal, and then we got picked up by a bus to take us on an adventure that we had booked a few days before online, and this was ziplining and bungee jumping. So as I mentioned before, since Costa Rica was our last country, we were willing to splurge on something really fun that we really wanted to do. So this 6 hours of ziplining and bungee jumping with transportation provided was about $120, which is a lot, but I think it was so worth it. Oh my gosh. It was really scary, but really fun.
No time to wait here.
Anyway, Anyway, bungee jumping isn't really allowed through semester at sea and it's not covered by their insurance, so you're not supposed to do it. But I did not die, so I think it's okay. But be sure to check out my video on all of the prohibited activities and prohibited items by the ship to know which things you're not supposed to do and what you're not supposed to bring with you. And then after that, we had dinner, and I was still like shaking because I was so scared from bungee jumping. But we had dinner at a restaurant on a hill that was amazing. I think it was called something with Mariposa in the title. But they gave us coupons for drinks at our hostel, so we knew we had to go there. And I had frozen peanut butter chocolate pie, and that was probably the best dessert I've ever had in my life. And the total for that restaurant was also $12. Our hostel gave us free food in the morning, which was fruit, and again, more like amazing chocolate cake. And then we got to the bus station at 5:30 a.m. to buy our $5 bus tickets back to Puntarenas to get back to the ship before we left for the United States. So when we got back, we had our last shared food thing in country, which was a Costa Rican Churchill or Costa Rican Copa, which is shaved ice with ice cream on top and condensed milk. Very sweet, but very good. And we each paid about $1 to split this with each other. So thinking about the total amount of money I spent in this country, it was $152 without the ziplining bungee jumping experience and $272 with it included. So this was probably the most I spent in any country, and in the grand scheme of things, it still isn't that much. I've told people in the past that they can probably budget about $200 per country and be able to eat the foods they want and get souvenirs and travel as well, and I think that that is still a good approximation because I ate off the ship probably 1 or 2 meals every day and slept off the ship for 2 nights and spent 3 days doing transportation around the country and only spent $152 plus another $120 for a crazy 6-hour experience that I'm never gonna forget. So you can always budget in more for something really fun like that. So as I mentioned before, I would be totally willing to do this sort of video for other countries as well, where I was probably even more money conscious and did not spend this much, just to show you how much spending money you need in each country and how much traveling in country actually costs if you're trying to save money. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you did in the comments below and subscribe to my channel and I'll be so happy. And thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys next time.